Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast, and welcome to a really weird day, because today, ladies and gentlemen, is a full day of reacting for me, but not a full day of streaming. It's kind of a weird one. Earlier this year, we actually had several Sundays that were incredibly similar to this, during which, basically, the first half of the day is my regular react show called DSP versus the Internet. But the second half, I'm doing private react videos for my patron pledgers. It depends on how many people pledge, how much they pledge, how many videos they want, how long the videos are. And it just so happens that this month, for December, some people ramped it up, to say the least, to get some videos made. And because of the amount and the length, I need to take time away, actually, from my dedicated streaming in order to do it. Now, that's perfectly fine. It is nice to break stuff up. We're not currently in the midst of so much going on that it's a big deal, but I did want to do it today because in the next week, I'm going to be starting up 2 new game playthroughs, and I know for a fact that once I'm into 2 new game playthroughs, then it could actually be an issue where people would be kind of upset if I were to be taking time away from streaming. So that's why I'm purposefully doing it tonight. Today is Sunday, December 3rd, 2023. Of course, I'm Phil. Phil I am. Welcome to the show. And if you're wondering what I'm wearing today, ladies and gentlemen, this shirt, okay, this particular shirt that I'm wearing, I'm curious, for those of you here live, how old do you think this shirt is that I'm wearing right now? Let's see if people can guess. This nice, svelte shirt. Let's see. Brand new, 34. From 2021, 17 years, 8 years. Of course, people will be doing various guesses in the chat right now. So, I always tell you guys this. I say, listen, I am the kind of person that I keep articles of clothing, whether it be shoes, pants, shirts, underwear. I keep them and I wear them until they are absolutely, positively, completely worn out. Frequently seams busting, from use or being overstretched, like an elastic band being completely overstretched doesn't work anymore. Buttons all come off, right? So I've had shoes I've worn until there's holes in the bottom. So my foot's getting wet. And I'm like, oh, I guess I should stop wearing this particular sneaker or whatever, right? In the case of this shirt I'm wearing, all right, I've owned this shirt. You might see a little symbol here. What does that look like? That's the Nautica symbol, all right? But I haven't bought any Nautica clothing, all right? You ready for this? Since I was at the office job before I was a YouTuber, I particularly remember when I bought this big grouping of Nautica clothes. It was when I probably worked at that job for like 2 years. So probably, no exaggeration, probably around like 2008. I went to a department store that had like a big Christmas sale. And I bought a bunch of shirts like this and pants that was kind of like a set for like, like nightwear, right? I bought a bunch of sweaters, like heavy Nautica sweaters. I think I have 3 of those. And a few other things as well, all at the same time. I bought it all together, all right? And I know, I was probably, we're talking 2008 money. And it was probably like $300-400 for everything. So today money, no exaggeration, with inflation over the last, 15 plus years, probably today that'd be like $700. All right. But the thing is, a lot of this stuff has lasted me a long time. This shirt particularly, it's like a 15-year-old shirt, but I never really wore it. Why? Because as you know, since I've been a YouTuber, I basically just wore gaming t-shirts all the time. You may see this shirt if you go all the way back to my early days as a YouTuber, back when I lived in Connecticut in my condo, and I looked completely different because I was fat, I had no hair, right? I had no facial hair. You may see me wearing this shirt because that's about the time frame, the early days of YouTube, that I was wearing this kind of stuff before. Basically, I kind of retired it in order to wear gaming stuff all the time in my videos, channel updates, the weekend preview, game reviews, etc. I was always wearing gaming related stuff, and it just kind of carried through all these years until this year you guys said, "We're tired, you're older. What are you doing? You don't need to be wearing this gaming stuff all the time. Wear normal clothes." So I started wearing the nice kind of like summery button down shirts, and now for the fall I'm actually wearing like normal clothing. And it just so happens that a lot of my other clothes were either in the wash or I've worn a lot of them recently. I was like, I don't want to wear this again right away. So today I just slapped on this shirt that was at the bottom of my drawer. I was like, oh my God, I still have this. I still have those winter, like I have sweaters, like nice Nautica sweaters, but I don't know when I'd have opportunity to really wear them because they're so heavy, that I probably would be hot wearing them in this room when I was streaming. Those are for like, you're outdoors in the cold, winter cold. Not really for full indoor use or anything like that. Maybe I'll still try to wear them at some point. They're very nice, but it's just weird that I have all these sweaters saved up. I'm like, am I ever going to wear these again? I don't even know, right? Anyway, so welcome to the show, everybody. And today we have a few topics to address and discuss. Notably, we have a big change in the schedule this week. And this was a direct determination based off of yesterday's streaming and how it went and the feedback that I got from all of you. And so I'd like to definitely directly address this today because it's a big change. It actually will be a huge change in the schedule. And the thing is, a lot of you, I'm sure, are going to be happy about this change because I've been asked for like over 2 weeks for something like this. And so I'm finally kind of listening to you. All right. Turtle Dude says the volume's a little low. Turtle Dude, I have not affected the volume at all. My microphone is maxed. There's nothing changed. So if the volume's a little low, it's either YouTube or maybe you accidentally lowered your speakers. I don't know what to tell you. Everything's the same as usual. Okay? Okay. So, here's the deal. Yesterday's streams, what were they and how did they go? Okay? So, yesterday the Level 1 podcast was jam-packed with information. I covered the Fallout TV series trailer that released, and I didn't do a full react to it, but I talked about what my initial impressions of it, which I think people liked, and I suggested that we actually do a react to it today on my react show, which we may do because people nominated it, okay? Then we did a whole big segment yesterday about Christmas movies. We talked all about the, 25 of the top ranked Christmas movies and things like that. So that was fun. And it was a good show overall. And then we jumped into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, here's the thing. When I started playing Modern Warfare 3 at the beginning of November, I started it as a daytime stream of 3-hour segments. And we did that for like 2-3 streams, and it did very well. Attendance, engagement, support, everything was great for those streams. But then I said, okay, we're getting into more narrative-based games. We need time for them. So I'm going to make it a night stream. And then we're going to have the other games be the daytime streams. And basically people complained. They were like, nah, that's not going to work because we like it as a daytime stream. A lot of people said they can't attend the late streams who liked Modern Warfare. And I distinctly noticed that taking Modern Warfare 3 and making it a day stream and turning it into a night stream ridiculously lowered the amount of attendees, engagement, and support it got. Like halved. And I was like, wow, okay. So I definitely got to listen to the feedback of my audience. Let's bring it back as a day stream. So we did. And for, again, another stream or two, it worked very well. But then what happened was last Monday, as we all know, again, I have to bring this up because it happened, and this is why it affected things. My internet was not working because of a malicious employee at Comcast, okay, who was messing with it, flicking it on and off, resetting it constantly all day, messing with my settings. Because of that, I was unable to stream Modern Warfare 3 on Monday. Now, obviously, that's very disappointing. I'm supposed to be able to do something all day, and I can't do it, right? So what ended up happening was I stopped playing it after only an hour. We had an hour of gameplay. You know, the stream was just getting momentum, and I had to stop. I brought it back that night as a late stream, as a makeup session. Excuse me. But what I noticed is when we did it as the late night Monday stream, it didn't do as well. Again, just like similarly when this had been a late night game, attendance, engagement, support was all very low. And I said, well, this kind of sucks. The whole day screwed up because of what happened. Let's bring it back maybe later this week, and let's see what happens, and hopefully it'll go back to normal, all right? And so I didn't play it all week, you know? And then yesterday, Saturday, was the first day that we brought it back, and when I brought it back, it ended up being a day stream again. I said, let's do it as a daytime stream again and see how it does, because maybe it was just a one-off thing on Monday that screwed it up. No. You know, yesterday, here's the thing when I play multiplayer games like this, all right? You get your regulars, and then you get an extra influx of viewers. And the reason that they're there is not because they're having a good time, they're positive, they're fun. It's because of the opposite. Oh, if Phil's playing a game online, there's a chance he may rage. He may lose or be angry at the connections. And then we love it when he rages and he's toxic, right? And that's the only reason we're there. Now, here's the thing. Having added viewers, obviously, it can't hurt, right? But the thing is, having those kind of viewers actually doesn't help. Unlike a lot of other YouTubers or streamers who would say, oh, I just want maximum whatever. I don't even care if it's a positive audience or a negative audience or whoever it is. As long as we got viewers, that's all that matters. I'm completely of the opposite mentality. Like, literally, I think that it couldn't be further from the truth. I want people coming to my streams who engage, who are a positive influence. They want to talk, they want to enjoy the content, they want to be a part of a community, and then that goes hand in hand with, because they're enjoying it, they support it, right? People who come just to make fun of someone or to be toxic or to see someone be toxic, those people don't come and then become a part of a positive community and support it. They don't. They're just there to crap on stuff, right? Or to laugh at someone, haha, they're being miserable, so I feel better, ha ha ha. Now, listen, that's an element that will never go away. Especially when you play ultra difficult games, like anything that's like a From Software style game or something like that. If you're playing a competitive fighting game, if you're playing an online multiplayer game like Call of Duty, anything like, you're always going to get that element, right? But I very much want you guys to understand that's not what I'm streaming for. That's not the audience I'm going for. If that were the case, I'd 100% always be doing rage-inducing playthroughs. I'd always be trying to cause maximum drama. Right now, I could get sucked into the toxic vortex of YouTube and get 10 times more views than I do. But that doesn't benefit me or a positive community at all, in my opinion. Some people would disagree. I disagree. I think that it would not help me at all to do that, okay? I like maintaining this positivity around here. So, I'm streaming Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 yesterday, and I noticed views are decent. Like, we got like maybe 400 people on the stream, but engagement is non-existent. The people who are sitting in the chat are barely talking about the game at all. They're all going off having their own conversations that are completely unrelated to even what's going on an action-packed Call of Duty stream. I want you to think about that. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I'm unlocking upgrades and weapons. I'm getting kill streaks. I'm doing daily challenges. I'm doing all this stuff. And people on the stream are talking about non-related crap. And it's like, obviously that's a sign they're not very interested. And then on top of that, as if it didn't need to be reinforced even further, people who had came by and were very positive and engaged and supported the podcast. And as soon as the podcast ended and I started playing Call of Duty, it ended. I'm not even kidding you. No one actually supported the stream in any way besides likes, all right, until the last half hour. 2.5 hours I was playing this game and no one cared. And it wasn't until the last minute one person tipped and one person did a super chat. And that was the entirety of the stream. Now, that's not a case of showing how getting extra viewers for rage content does not equate to success, I don't know what is. I don't know what else would be a sign, right? At least for me. And again, this could be very different for other content creators, right? It could be that for them, bringing in rage viewers and stuff like that actually does support them and they're okay with it. For me, it's not. For me, I get success based off of people enjoying what we're doing, having positive interactions, positive engagement, because my philosophy has always been this. If I'm putting on a stream that feels safe, that feels fun, that's entertaining, that puts a smile on your face for whatever reason, but if I'm having a good time and you're having a good time, that's a reciprocation. We feel that on the stream. Sometimes we have fun, chill interactions. We have great discussion, okay? And while that's happening, people say, hey, I like this content. I want this content to continue to exist. I'm going to go ahead and go above and beyond and support it. And that's when support comes in, right? People don't come and support my stream because I was playing Call of Duty and I had a rage fit at lag. No one's going to say, oh yeah, here's a tip because of that. Who would do that? Instead, they want to have a chill time with me, something that feels meaningful to them. That's when you get that, right? So, after having yesterday's stream, here's the thing. I like Modern Warfare 3. I think I like it more than most people because a lot of people have completely crapped on this game and said, man, this game is a cash-in, rip-off this year. It's a piece of crap. You know what I'm saying? And just skip it. They're just a bunch of cash-grabbing assholes. Nothing that's said in that statement is false. Literally nothing. Modern Warfare 3 plays like Modern Warfare 2 with a few tweaks and new weapons. It's the same netcode. It's the same skill-based matchmaking. They didn't put any effort into it. It was a rushed-out game for money. 100%. It was pushed out to line the pockets of the people in charge, and they didn't give two shits about the quality of the game. That is a true statement, okay? But I'm having fun with it because it's a throwback to the original Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. The maps are ones that I've already played on. Excuse me. And in particular, all right, I'm just having a fun time having multiplayer like this in the rotation again. I haven't played a first-person shooter in a year since the last Call of Duty. It really is a shame there's no competition anymore. Because back in the day, I mean, just in a typical year, around this time of year, here's what would happen. You'd have Call of Duty and a competitor, whether it be Battlefield or Halo or Bad Company or whatever it would be. There'd be a competitor, so it's not just a one game dominating that genre. But then you'd have a fighting game or two to play multiplayer. You'd have a racing game to play. There'd be maybe a sports game to play. There'd be an action-based, cover-based shooter to play. Hell, then there were oddball games. Remember when Assassin's Creed had multiplayer? So any given year during this busy gaming season, you'd have like 10 multiplayer games to juggle. And it would be intense amount of variety. You know, in December, never would it be like, oh man, what a dry December. It'd be like, dude, I don't have time to play all these cool multiplayer games in December. There's too many of them, right? But it ain't like that anymore. It's just not. Most of the multiplayer games went the way of free-to-play, battle royale, team-based. They're nothing like they used to be. And because of that, because they're all the same, these games have lost their originality, and there's one dominant game in the FPS landscape, Call of Duty on console. That's it. No one else really plays anything else on console besides Call of Duty when it comes to FPS. On PC, it's different. But on console, that's the dominant genre. That's the dominant game in that genre. That's all you can play, right? So it's like, I enjoy playing it just because, for me, that's really the only major option that I really enjoy playing on console. That's it, right? There's nowhere else to go. There's no other game to play in place of Call of Duty, right? So I enjoy it. But after playing it for a month, by the way, it's about 30 hours I've put into Modern Warfare 3 since it released in early November. That's a lot of gameplay for 1 month for any game. Hell, if it was a single-player RPG, 30 hours in 1 month is a lot. So I put a lot of time into this, okay? I feel like, definitely, sadly, there definitely is a lack of interest. People are bored of it now. And it's funny because it's not like I've done everything. Like yesterday, I was trying to get kills with the pistol. And I was actually the best player on my team multiple times, limiting myself to using the handgun. And I'm not good at this game. I don't think I am, but here I am dominating the leaderboards. So you tell me how this game works, that people suck so bad that I can win entire matches just using a handgun. So I think there's more to do. But when I see literally an entire stream of people not talking about the game, completely turned off from it, doing their own thing, not engaging, not even addressing me or anything that's going on in the stream, and then the support is non-existent, that's a sign. People want something else. And to be frank, for over 2 weeks, every day I get someone asking me, hey Phil, what's the next playthrough? What's the next game? I'm tired of this stuff. When's the next one? What's the new one? What's the next one? Right? So I think it's time. I think now it is time to move on. It is time for us to say, all right, we've seen what this game had to offer. It was good for when it lasted, but it's time to move on to other stuff. All right? So, as a result of yesterday's stream, yeah, we're going to move on. We're going to do some new stuff this week, and I'm curious how it's going to go. I hope it goes well, because you guys for over 2 weeks have been asking me for something new, so I'm going to give it to you. Okay? Excuse me. As DMX would say, Phil gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. It sounded very white when I said it. Anyway, so what are we doing for this week? Let's talk, because now the schedule is dramatically different. All right. But by the way, before we continue on to the schedule for the week, you want to talk about a direct comparison between a stream that had high attendance but low engagement and support versus a stream that had lower attendance but incredibly high engagement and support. Let's talk about last night's late stream of Like a Dragon Gaiden. Now, I'm not here to say this happens every time we play Like a Dragon Gaiden. It doesn't. All right? But in particular, last night, we had about, 200 to 250 people on the Like a Dragon Gaiden stream last night. And what did we do? It was completely open world content, side missions that we were doing. They all had interesting plot lines. Some were funny. Some were way more dramatic and serious. One was a crossover mission with another game from the Ryugo Godoko, the RGG studio. I don't know how to say their name, but it was a crossover mission, which was really neat. Okay. So last night, of the over 200 people that showed up, literally everyone's hanging out. Everyone's talking in chat, having a good time. We got people talking about Japanese culture and the game in particular. We got people talking about other games in the genre. We got people just having conversations that are fun. Everyone's just hanging out and having a great time, right? And it's a completely different vibe and atmosphere from the Call of Duty stream, because everyone's engaged. Where it's more meaningful, in my opinion. It's a better stream. What ends up happening? Let's see. Because of the positivity, people say, I want to support this content because it's great. We hit our members goal for the day. We hit the tier 2 tips goal for the night. It's like, did I do anything different? Of course I didn't. I'm just playing a different game. It's a different vibe. There you go. Now, I'm not saying I want to take multiplayer games out of my rotation either. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get me the wrong way, because this is what idiots do. They say dumb shit, like wage quitting and shit like that. That's totally not the case. There are games that I've kept in the rotation, RPGs that don't get this level of support, that I've kept in the rotation regardless. I mean, that entire Chrono Trigger playthrough I did over the summer was one of the slowest playthroughs I did in ages. But I love the game, and I just had passion for it, and I wanted to play it regardless of how much it was supported. All right? People will say dumb shit like that because they're morons. Now, the funniest part about that is, I just want you to think about this for a second. Let's say you go to work, and you put in a day's work. At the end of the day, you're told, well, you're just not getting paid today. And then you go to work the next day, and you're told, well, you're also not getting paid for today. But then the next day you go in, okay, this is the third day I feel like you're going to get paid today, right? Would you keep going to that job? I mean, it's a business as well as my hobby. You understand that? And I'm not entitled to anything. I'm not entitled to people coming to any particular stream and saying, oh, Phil, I feel generous today. I'll give you everything. I'm not entitled to that. That's not how this model works. But I've explained to you guys tons of times, very matter-of-factly, how this model works. My whole purpose being on any stream is to put out content for you that you find enjoyable, entertaining, positive, fun, engaging, and the hope is that you like it so much and you understand that the only way that you can keep it going is to support it, is that you would eventually maybe support in some way, right? And everyone could support in a different way, and that's fine. But it's always worked out for 15 years that the support I get is enough to keep things going, right? So, and of course, I've had to change and evolve over the times, but that's how it works, right? Yeah, I'm not going to continuously keep doing anything on my streams if no one wants it and no one's supporting it. That would be incredibly stupid. I'd have to be an actual moron. And for someone to spin it and say, wage quit, that's bad. No, you're just stupid. No, legitimately, anyone who's ever said that phrase is actually a complete brainless moron. Because you would go to work, just think about this, you would go to your job and work several days and just say, I'm doing it for free. No, you have to pay your bills. You have to make a living, just like everyone else on this planet. You're an idiot if you would go and do it for free. You're a complete idiot. So, if you say that statement, you're the dumbest person I've ever talked to. Congratulations. Now, good news is, there's stuff people have been waiting for. I'm more than happy to give you what you want, all right? So, allow me to give you the schedule for the rest of the week. Now, today, obviously, is very different. Today is React Day. Today is a day, I guarantee you today is not going to be a high engagement or support day, because it almost never is, all right? And, you know, reacting is something that I absolutely enjoy doing, all right? But it's variety content. It's a good way for me to split up a full week of gameplay. It gives me the opportunity to do different kinds of content, which I enjoy doing very much, all right? And I would ask, if you like the React content, please support today. Support this stream right now, this podcast, or when we head over to the channel, DSP Reacts, after this show, which will happen. You know, you'll see referrals. Hey, click here and go over there. Everyone's heading over there. Please support that content, all right? I've really enjoyed doing it all year. I like breaking my content up and doing different kinds, so I hope that you would support it in some way, right? But today, I would not be shocked if today is by far my slowest day today, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? So, we got the podcast right now. Anything you put towards this podcast for support technically will carry over. So, for example, let's say we raise $20 in tips on this stream. That'll carry over to the stream on the React Show for goals and rewards and stuff, okay? It's not going to change. That all stays cumulative, okay? Pretty cool. Now, after this podcast ends, we're going to head over collectively to DSP Reacts. And for 3 hours, I'm going to react to the clips that the members on that channel submitted for the week. And let me tell you, tons of Christmas-related stuff. Tons. Very nice. I'm very happy that people have gotten into the festive mood and are doing all Christmas-related clips, Christmas-related questions from the members this week. It's good stuff. It's going to be nice holiday-themed, and that's exactly what I like. I actually feel like the React shows have been much better since we had them be themed towards what's going on in real life during these weeks. So I certainly hope that you will join me over there for that show. Now, as I've already stated, okay, I will not be here tonight. No late stream tonight. I have to film patron private React videos. All right? However, I will return in full capacity tomorrow and for the next 3 days. Here's what we're going to be doing. Monday, Level 1 podcast, followed by Super Mario RPG Remake, which we're heading into the end game. We're almost done. If I really focus just on beating it, we'd probably beat it tomorrow. But I've heard that there's actually extra content in this version. I guess because this is the remake. I don't know what the extra content is. So I guess we can find out. We need 2 streams in order to finish it up. Okay, we'll see. Then tomorrow night, I'm very excited for this. I'm returning to Street Fighter 6 to play more Dalsim in Ranked. I'm currently in 4-star Diamond with Dalsim after 1 session. The game placed me in 3-star Diamond, and I continued to win and go on win streaks, and I'm in 4-star Diamond now. I'm like a few streams away from hitting Master Rank, which is insane, right? I can't believe it that I'm doing this well with the character. Now, that very well may not last. I may hit a wall where I start fighting an onslaught of Cammies and other top-tier characters that are going to dominate me. That very well could happen, all right? But in this case, I'm actually having a great time playing with the character. I can't wait to play more tomorrow. I hope you'll join me for my journey with Dalsim as it continues at a high-level ranked play tomorrow night on the late stream, okay? Tuesday is the big day when the schedule's changing, all right? So after a Level 1 podcast, Tuesday's daytime stream will be the premiere of RoboCop Rogue City. I'm actually staring at it right now. It's installed on my Xbox, ready to go. This is the game that came out of nowhere. No one expected it would be very good. It came out, what, about a month ago? I guess a lot of people who played it said, wow, it's surprisingly good. Like, no one expected that this game would be good, and it's quite good. I'm taking your word for it. I haven't played it, nor have I watched anyone who's played it, but people said it was so good, and people wanted to see me play it so badly, they donated it. In fact, listen to this. Not only did it get donated, 3 different people donated it at the same time. So because of that, when I play this game on Tuesday, I'll be giving away copies of it. because I have extra copies to give away live on stream. The people have said, yeah, go ahead, give them away. We'll buy into that. Okay? So, on this coming Tuesday's premiere stream, expect not one, but 2 different copies of RoboCop to be given away live on stream. I'm excited for to see how the game is. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully people will show up and like the game. People have asked me for a month to play it. So, you got to think, there's got to be a desire there to see me play it, and, you know, we'll find out come Tuesday. Tuesday night will be more Like a Dragon Gaiden, okay? And then Wednesday, the daytime stream again will be something new because Warzone 3 is releasing in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So, I'll be trying it out for the first time. And here's the thing, is in regards to that, I don't know when it releases, but people keep saying that's probably going to be around 10 a.m. Pacific time. That I guess they always seem to time it around that time. What I'm hoping is that that's the case, and I will have to download it. Like, I'll have to set it up to download Warzone 3 as soon as it's available, because I don't have Warzone installed, but it wouldn't matter. This is a whole new Warzone to install, right? So I guess what I'll have to do is that day, you know, turn it on, and hopefully that morning it's available to download. Because I want to play Warzone 3 on release day. But what if it's not available? What if it's not there? What if the servers are screwed up, you can't get it? Then I guess we'll do something different. You know, we could do more RoboCop or something like that. I guess we'll see. And then same thing, Wednesday night, it could either be Warzone 3, if I can't play it on the earlier stream, or if not, then maybe we could do more RoboCop if you guys want a second dose of RoboCop. Or, you know, we could do more Street Fighter. If you want a third dose of Street Fighter for the week because I'm doing so well, I'm okay with that. So really, it's hard to say what we're going to be doing on Wednesday because I'm not sure when the Warzone's going to release, okay? Also, something huge happening on Wednesday if you're not aware, or is it Tuesday? The GTA 6 trailer is releasing, but I can't remember if that was the 5th or the 6th, but that's coming this week, and I'm sure that's going to be a ginormous topic of discussion on the podcast and during my streams that day. Everyone's going to want to talk about GTA 6 and what information is released about it, so that'll be exciting when that happens, so it's good stuff coming up this week. Now, keep in mind, that's not even it. Are you ready for this? On Friday, which would be, let's see, if today's the 3rd, the 8th? On Friday, the 8th, I'm playing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I think it technically releases on the 7th, but I won't be here. It's my day off. So, on the 8th, I'm going to be repurchasing a monthly subscription to Ubisoft Plus to begin my playthrough of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which supposedly is a hybrid between Far Cry gameplay and the Avatar universe, all right? So this should be pretty neat. I'm excited for that too. And 2 new games in the rotation, plus new Warzone, right? So there's going to be a lot going on. We're going literally from, oh, I'm bored of these games, there's not enough going on, to 3 new things happening in 1 week, right? Now, I want you to understand something. There is no commitment that I have to continue to play any of these games. If I play RoboCop, we play it for a stream or 2, and it sucks, I don't have to keep going. If I play Avatar for a stream or 2, and it sucks, I don't have to keep going. I just bought the subscription. I didn't buy the game. It's not a big deal, right? If I play Warzone 3, and I hate it, I don't have to keep going. All right? So we're not committed to having to play any of these insanely long amounts of time. I don't want people to feel like, oh no, we're stuck into this now. You know what I mean? That's very much not the case. We can take our time, go at our own pacing, and see if I like these games or not over the course of the next couple of weeks, okay? But hopefully, all of them work out. I would like it if all 3 of these are great, and we enjoy all 3 of them. That would be amazing, okay? But won't know till we actually start playing them. Cool. Now, in addition to all of that, please continue to nominate your favorite playthroughs of the year in my Best of 2023 nominations thread. You can access that by typing ! Best of 2023 into the chat, and that will pop up a link. You click on that, and in that thread, nominate your favorite playthroughs. What I'm doing is for the next 2 or so weeks, tallying up all your nominations for your favorite playthroughs of the year. Then based on that, whatever is the most nominated playthroughs will become a poll that you guys will vote on for the rest of the month. And then, boom, at the end of the year, we have a 3rd year-end series. Not only will we have my Game of the Year awards and most disappointing games countdown, but also the fan-voted best playthroughs of 2023, which I'm very excited to see what you guys felt were the best playthroughs of the year, okay? Excuse me. Very nice. So that's going to be fun. In addition, please continue, if you are a member over on my React channel, DSP Reacts that is, please continue to nominate Christmas-themed movies and specials for me to watch and review in the coming weeks. In fact, I'm planning on doing my first review either Monday or Tuesday night. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be yet because I have to watch something. What I'm going to do, either tonight or tomorrow night, I'm going to kind of go through your nominations of what you guys have suggested. I'm going to see what's available on my on-demand video services, and I'm going to watch something and review it coming up this week, which I'm excited for. I like watching Christmas-themed stuff. I have a blast this time of year, always trying to watch a bunch of stuff, and I'm very excited to jump into that festive fun starting soon, either tonight or tomorrow, okay? Excuse me. So, that's all well and good going on. Now, the one thing that's not live yet, and I know it's dragging its feet a little bit, is your ability to nominate video games that I'm going to play during my Christmas marathon on the 23rd of December. I haven't set that up yet. I haven't had time. Like, I still, at this point, here I am 3 days into the month. I haven't even set up my usual stuff that I do every month to, like, schedule out what bills I owe this month and when I'm paying those and when I'm doing this and that on my streams. I have a lot I have to set up, all right? So I promise you within the next few days, I will get that going. When I have a chance, I will do that. Maybe I'll even do it the night that I do whatever the first Christmas special is that I'll record. Maybe then I'll set up those threads because I want you guys to start voting or start nominating on the games that I'm going to play during the Christmas event. It just sucks that I just haven't had a chance to really even set it up yet. We'll probably have it run for like a week and a half. And a few days before Christmas, you'll vote on what you want me to play on that Christmas marathon on the 23rd. Okay? Okay. So that's everything. That covers pretty much everything. Before we head into any other topics, I just want to say thank you all for chilling, for relaxing, for the holiday vibes. We've kind of, it took a while because of all the nonsense going on last week, but I feel like we finally settled in, right? It feels like finally we're into festive stuff. Happy holidays and season's greetings to everyone out there. I'm happy that now we can have this positivity rolling. I love it. I love this feeling this time of year. The weather has definitely changed. It's very cold outside now. And I'm having a great time. I hope that you guys are too. All right. Now, if you like the content, we've already talked a little bit about this. I make my living on crowdfunding. I don't get any support from any kind of product placements. I don't play any games, you know, for getting paid to advertise them. You don't see paid promote. This includes a paid promotion in my YouTube videos. None of that. I do none of that purposefully because I wanted that when you're watching my content, you're seeing meaningful content. This has always been my formula. I give you the meaningful content for free, and if you enjoy it, please reciprocate. All right? Do I make something on ad revenue? Yes, I do. You see ads run on my streams. You see ad runs on my on-demand videos. I make something from that. Is it a ton? No, it's not. It used to be way more. It's certainly not anymore. That's just something that's happened over the years on YouTube is that it's gone, boo, way down. There's nothing you can do about that. I do rely on crowdfunding to make a living. So, how can you support these streams? Okay? Number one, engagement. Liking the videos, liking the streams, leaving comments on the videos, and talking on the streams. Engagement helps the channel and lets more people find it. That's number one. Number two, super chats, super stickers, super thanks. These are the ways that you can contribute through YouTube itself. You get a big pop-up on your screen when you do it, whether it's in a chat, even on a video, an on-demand video. It's like a highlighted comment, right? If anyone does this, I'm very grateful. Thank you. I will be sure to give a shout-out specifically to anyone who does it live on a stream. If you actually do it during an on-demand video, I actually will find that in my video comments and highlight it and give you a personal thank you in the video comments as well. All right? Memberships. Obviously, these are absolutely important things, right? Because a membership is a way to support this channel ongoing. And I appreciate everyone who is a member of this channel and or during this time of year gifts memberships to the channel. You get so many benefits for being a member, including, but not limited to, a chat crown badge to show how long you're a supporter, being able to completely ignore slow mode rules in the chat so you can talk as much as you want. You don't have to wait, what is it, a 10-second limit or something so you can't spam the chat. You can talk as much as you want. Access to a ridiculous amount of emotes here on YouTube. You know, at one point we had so many gifted memberships like a year or two ago that we got it up to like 3 dozen amount of emotes, something nuts like that. So you get a ton of emotes here. Particularly this time of year, memberships are great because you get big priority for special events. For example, for this Christmas marathon coming up, members exclusively will pick a game that will be played during the event. Everyone else will be competing open nominations, but the members themselves will put their heads together and pick a game that will be for sure in the Christmas event. So there you go. I mean, you get tons of power over my content, tons of interactivity for being a member, okay? So please consider becoming a member today if you're not, and please consider gifting some memberships, all right? Hilariously, I get people who say dumb things like, whoa, you have so many members, but you don't have that many stream viewers. Yes, because not everyone who watches my content is a stream viewer right now. That's right. You're absolutely right. I play so many games. I make so much variety of content that I have thousands of viewers who watch me on a daily basis, and not all of them are members. There you go. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Again, the thing is, I'm so very different from other content creators. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, well, your average stream gets 300, 400 viewers. You have 500 members. Yes, but I do 2 streams a day that are different audiences. I play 4 to 5 games at a time that each have different audiences. So even though you see 400 members per, or 400 viewers per stream, arguably there's between 1,000 to 2,000 people that at any given time will watch my streams. Oh, by the way, there's an entire on-demand audience too that also can become members and support the channel. So you have no point. There you go. Okay. And by the way, that's not particularly directed at anyone. It's just a thing that I hear commonly said around here that makes absolutely no sense. Because again, everyone holds me to standards of other content creators, which I'm not. I've always been completely different from everybody else, but they don't understand the differences. There you go. Okay, so that's awesome. One final way you can support the streams, tips. Tips are direct contributions to my PayPal. They're very, very good, a very good way to support the content for 2 reasons. Number 1, tips are immediate. If you tip me right now, I get it this moment. I can put it towards a game. I can pay a bill. Hell, I could go buy groceries or take my wife out to dinner on Thursday on my day off. And that's all a direct result of tip support that I get on streams. Anything else that you do to support my streams, there's a delay. All right? And it takes about a month usually. It's like a month delay, which isn't a big deal, but it's a wait. Tips are cool because of right now, it's something that could be used for something positive. Okay, so I'm just throwing that out there. Number 1, getting something right away versus having to wait. Yeah, it's always a benefit. Number 2, tips. I usually get way more of a tip than I do of another contribution. You know, there's always a middleman, no matter how you're getting support on the internet. There's always a middleman who takes a cut. Nothing's free. And, you know, typically, with PayPal and tips, I get more of a cut as opposed to other methods. So, thank you in advance to anyone who contributes in any way. Everything is appreciated. We have rewards in place for tip levels and things raised on a stream and all of that. And I want to say thanks to anyone who does contribute during today's stream. Now, particularly today's a weird day. Why? Because we're doing this podcast, and then after the podcast, we're going over to a different channel to do the React show. So obviously, with my React content, that's a little different. That channel itself is usually supported solely by what I raise on a stream or memberships. There's no ad revenue really to be spoken of on that channel. Because whenever I do my React show, at least half the videos, if not more, end up getting claimed by third parties and become unmonetizable. Okay? It sucks, but it's just the nature of the beast doing React content. Since you're reacting to someone else's video, someone else gets the rights to it. So on my React channel, things like memberships, super chats during streams, and tips during streams are a huge important thing to keep that channel afloat. When I started that channel earlier this year, there was ginormous interest, and it kind of waned. And I can't really argue about that. I mean, people settled into it at first, oh, hype, 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 and then the hype dies down. They're like, okay, I'm not hyped for it anymore, right? Plus, let's be honest, I stopped doing drama. I stopped reacting to long drama documentaries and things like that as a direct response from my audience saying, you know, the drama stuff is all right, but it always causes problems. Everyone gets all upset. Do you really want to keep making drama content? And I was like, no, not really. I like doing React stuff. I just don't want to really do drama shit all year. So I stopped doing it. And I think a lot of the hype for that channel died out then too. All right? But for a little channel, for a small audience, for a little bit of fun content, I like doing it. It's kind of a hobby, a side thing, and because of your support, it's still viable to do, but I need to keep it being viable. Like, if it ends up being a stream that does nothing for me all week, then obviously I'm not going to keep doing it, right? So please, when we head over there after this, if you like that React stuff, please support that channel in some way, particularly if you support that live stream. That keeps that channel afloat, okay? Fair enough. All right, so all that being said, we're going to do a couple quick shout-outs right now, and then we're just going to open it up. Really, I got nothing else to do today, but particularly, I don't feel like doing suggestion box today. Reason being, today's a weird day. We're not doing gameplay. Already, I'm going to be doing a ton of reacting. I'm going to be doing Q&A and stuff later from members. I just don't want to do suggestion box today. So it's just going to be a chill stream where we talk and do some Q&A and stuff like that until we feel sufficient to jump over and do the react show, okay? So just a couple quick shout-outs. Nothing really crazy today. Little Shake and Bake gifted a membership to the community. Thank you, Shake and Bake. And that went to Bare Metal Gamer. So congratulations, Bare Metal Gamer. We're now at 542 members. My goal is 545 by the end of this podcast because I'm not broadcasting on this channel again today. All right? When we go to the other channel, there's a different level of members for that channel because it's a different channel, you see? So we can get 3 members by the end of this stream. That's roughly like 40 minutes left. That would be amazing if we could do that. So if you wanted to support, today a good way would be by gifting some memberships to the channel within the next 40 minutes or so. Okay? So thank you, Little Shake and Bake, for that. And then I received a super sticker from Little Shake and Bake. Okay? So let's get that up on the leaderboard. What the? There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Now, on the tip side of things, our first tip of the day is from Lil Shake and Bake. I'm not kidding. $1 tip from Lil Shake and Bake, who says, do you accept fan art? Anything specific you'd want to be drawn? Well, first of all, when you say fan art, I love fan art that is digital. Meaning if you were to scan it high res and send it to me, and maybe it could be like a widescreen aspect ratio, I can make it part of my pre-stream. I love fan art that I can add to pre-stream, you know. And particularly if you wanted to do something that would advertise the podcast or DSPGaming or something like that that I could roll on the pre-stream, that'd be cool. If you want to do something that's DSP Reacts related, that'd be cool too. I have 0 pieces of artwork for DSP Reacts. Earlier this year, I asked anyone, hey, you want to make some artwork for that particular channel? And no one did. So if you want to do something like that. But that's the kind of fan art I like. Physical fan art, I'll be honest, I have no use for it. I have nowhere to put it. But digital fan art that I can use in my content, that I really love. Okay, oops. So Lil Shake and Bake with the first tip of the day, $1. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Cool. Alright, and so, particularly, so far, that is what we got for today. If anything else pops in for today, I will obviously shout it out, and you'll get recognition, and if you have a question, I'll answer it. But in the meantime, you know, that's all I got for today's show. I didn't have too much. I just wanted to kind of get through the schedule change and explain why we're changing and reducing Modern Warfare 3. Now Modern Warfare 3 will be Warzone while I'm going to start up RoboCop. And by the way, I should say this too. It's not that I'm never going to play Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer ever again. That's very much not the case. But I feel like just with anything, if you play something or do something too much, then it's not special anymore. And I feel like I've played so much of Modern Warfare 3 that people are just like, meh. But maybe if I didn't play it for a while and we wanted some variety on streams and I brought it back, then people would care again, right? So, Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, for now, we're not going to do it, but we are going to try Warzone this week. We'll see how that goes, and then we'll play it by ear and go from there. Okay? Jade, you're going to see the Godzilla movie soon? Sounds good. I hope you enjoy it. Let us know if it was good on when you come back, but I had the feeling you would probably like it. Most people loved it, right? They've reviewed it really highly. Let's see here. So, Derek. Oh, by the way, this person now can get the fuck out of here. Because they were trolling, so they're out of here. Derek says there's a trailer countdown live stream. Trailer 1 of GTA 5 will be on Tuesday, December 5th. Pre-show at 5:45 a.m. Pacific. The trailer debuts at 6 p.m. Pacific. Wow. Or 6 a.m. Pacific. 6 a.m. Well, guess what I won't be watching? I'll watch it after, right? I'll definitely not be... That's crazy. I will not be watching any trailer at 6 a.m. Screw that. I'll watch it when I wake up. But then we'll talk about it on Tuesday's show. Thank you for clarifying there. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that the Godzilla movie is very serious. That apparently it's more about, it's like the humans and how they're affected by this natural disaster that is Godzilla or something like that, right? Pretty crazy. There you go. Very nice. Okay. So, ladies and gents, I'm opening the chat up right now. It is official. To anyone who would like to do Q&A with me, ask a question, have a topic discussed, now is the time. We'll do a segment of Q&A and see what you guys want to talk about today. And then based on how that goes, either the podcast will be very long or very short. Depends on what you guys want to talk about today, okay? Okay. Derek, I'm happy to hear you've started the Christmas tier maker. And I hope that it goes well. Of course, let me know if you have any questions along the way. And we're going to probably do a Christmas tier maker where we're going to rank holiday Christmas specials and Christmas movies probably on Christmas Eve. Because on Christmas Eve, I'm only going to do one stream. Just like I did on Thanksgiving. On Christmas Eve, I'll probably do one stream. And it'll probably just be like the podcast and then a tier maker and then maybe a little bit of chill fun. Maybe a drink or two. And then that's it. It's not going to be anything serious. Okay? What is my favorite holiday? Christmas. Here's why Christmas is my favorite holiday. There's two major reasons. Number one, because Christmas is not only a holiday, it's a season, right? You get everything going. You got snow. You got festive decorations of various things. You could have things that are winter related. You could have things that are Santa Claus related, things that are actually Christian related with Jesus and stuff like that. You have, no matter where you come from, there's a Christmas for you. You know what I'm saying? There's some kind of a Christmas thing for you. There's so many specials, so many movies, so much music, right? All around, food, all around it, based around it. So that, all that to me is number one of the major reasons I like the season, because it's a feeling, it's a vibe in the air that feels positive and fun and heartwarming to me. Anyway, okay, that's number one. But number two, the other major reason that I absolutely positively love Christmas is because it's my day off for the whole year. And you might say, well, what does that mean? It's an actual day off. Meaning, on Christmas Day, I don't have to shop. I don't have to run errands, go to appointments. I don't have to do anything work-related at all. I don't turn on a stream. I don't do anything with videos. I don't have to read or respond to emails. I just spend time with my family. It's literally the only day a year. This is not exaggerating. It's the only day all year that I get to spend the entire day with my family and not worry about anything else. Okay? Particularly this year, it's very much needed. You know, this year, normally on days when it would have been a little bit more relaxed and festive, I didn't even get those days. Like, I was sick around Halloween. So I didn't get a fun Halloween marathon that would have felt a lot different than my normal content because I was sick as shit, right? So it's great that I'm finally going to get one day that the entire day is for my family and I. That's it. After that, it's right back to work. And my days off are running errands, going grocery shopping, doing appointments, doing all this crap. That's just my life. When you work 6 days a week full time, that is your life. And that's been my life for many, many years. Okay. Excuse me. Snow Carl, re-upping their membership for 18 months, says, do you consider going home to Connecticut? Did you consider going home to Connecticut for Christmas with Kat? First of all, there's no going home to Connecticut. This is my home. I've lived here for almost a decade now. This very much is my home. And will be probably for the rest of my life, quite frankly, because I love it here. I don't want to leave or have to move out of my house. I love my house. I love this location. Just this morning, we're out back and we've put some like oyster crackers in a bowl and a few peanuts, and we put it out there. We got squirrels, we got birds, we got all kinds of creatures coming by and just having fun eating, and they're playing. The squirrels are frolicking and playing with each other in the backyard. Jasper's going crazy watching like this. He's all excited. It's like, dude, we get all this natural wildlife and everything in our neighborhood. It's so amazing. We get wild rabbits and stuff out there all the time. It's amazing. And we get beautiful trees, grass, all kinds of stuff in the backyard that grows. It's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. We have the best view of anyone who lives here because we have the dog walking park to the back of us. Everyone else just has like a normal backyard, but they're small. We have this giant view. So we literally have it the best here. You know, we're very happy, okay? With where we live and everything. So I have no plans to move. This is my home. There's no going back home. That doesn't even make sense what you're saying. Now, will we consider going back to Connecticut to visit my parents for Christmas? You want to know the truth? Probably not. Why? Travel during this time of year is atrocious. To go during Christmas would mean insane amounts of delays. And plus, by the way, we'd have to fly in to freaking like LaGuardia or, you know, one of those New York airports. That's a fucking nightmare that there's insane amounts of people going through at this time of year. Like, that is wildly, insanely a big no, all right? If we ever were to go visit, I would purposefully make it not Christmas time. Like, I would have to go in the summer or go at a time when no one's going to Connecticut, no one cares. That's when I would go. Plus, let's be honest, there's just more to do. You know, we go there and we visit in the summer, if we ever do. You could go and do other things. You could go out, do outdoor activity. You go to the zoo or other things. It's nice. As opposed to you go now, half the shit is closed. Plus, inclement weather. Connecticut is infamous for inclement weather this time of year. You could get ice. You could get snow. Now you get fucking snowed in during your visit. Now what do you do? Wow, we flew out here, but now we're stuck. We can't even get there because of fucking snow. So what was the point of that, right? So the answer is no. I would not, absolutely, I would not be going to Connecticut during this time of year to visit my parents. I think that would be incredibly a bad decision. You know, I really believe that. So, you know, maybe one day we will go out and visit, and it would not be for that. You know, when was the last time we visited? 2019. When was it? April. For what? Well, to visit my parents and to get married, right? That's what we did it for. And it was wet, and it was cloudy, but it wasn't ice, you know? So, there you go. All right. Shout out to Big Ocho. Big Ocho is gifting some memberships to the channel here. First gifted membership went to Mike E, and the second gifted membership went to Experiment N. So congratulations to the two of you on those gifted memberships. Now, before I say we're at 544, please allow me to confirm that. Hopefully nothing expired during today's podcast, because it would be great if we're only one away from our goal today. That'd be superb. But let's double check that before I make that announcement, and then, oh, we actually lost 5, and now I'm lying to you all. Okay? Okay, let's see here. We are indeed at 544 members. So if we get one more, then we would have hit the goal that I had set for today, which was literally only for this podcast, because I'm not broadcasting again on this channel today. It's going to be on the other channel, okay? I received, excuse me, a $2 tip from Lady Charisma. Getting ahead of RoboCop so you know what you're getting into. It's a prime example of a AA game. It's not indie, but it also doesn't have the polish of AAA. It takes you back to that era when licensed games were everywhere. You get with a one gem in the dung like Rise of Kong or Walking Dead Destiny. So basically what you're saying is don't expect insane amounts of polish. Don't expect it to be over and above crazy amount of gameplay and stuff like that. But it's pretty darn good for what it is because it kind of came out of nowhere and it's shockingly good. That's good. I'm good to hear that. Thank you, Lady Charisma, for the $2 tip. Sounds good to me. So I get the $3. There we go. I appreciate that very much. And then I received a $1 tip. My nose is itching. Snow Carlton, another dollar, says, do you think your parents would visit you? And the answer is probably not. They have too many health problems now. The last time that they were able to visit me was 2016. And then my dad got serious back issues. My mom had serious hip issues. And they just can't move around well anymore. It's funny because, you know, I talk to them. And here's the thing. You never know. Because I've talked to them. And sometimes they feel like they're in good spirits and they're positive. And they feel like, yeah, it would be possible that maybe one day they could come. And they could visit it. Right? And then sometimes you talk to them and they're like doom and gloom. Doom and gloom, everything's bad, we're not feeling good, everything. I can't read them. I really can't anymore. Like, I try, and all I do is I believe what they tell me, but then it's like you know, I don't even know what to believe about their health, about their mobility. I don't know. I'm not there with them. You know, when I saw them in 2019, I could say my dad looked okay. My mom did not look that good, right? And that was over 4 years ago. She looked very rickety, basically, like she could barely get around. From what I understand from my dad, yeah, she can't really walk around that well anymore. When she walks around, she usually has a walker, because of all these bone issues and hip issues and things that she has. And there's nothing that can really be done about it. Like, they've looked into doing various things, and there's no real big solution to it. So because of the mobility thing, they can't really, you know, make it out here, you know, which sucks. Obviously, I'd like to see them, you know, but what can you do? It's life. You deal with it, you know. I talk to them. In fact, I'm calling them today to see how they're doing. I'm going to tell them all about what's happened in the last week. And you guys know what I've been through in the last week, right? So I'm sure they're going to love hearing all about that. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Big Ocho gifted another membership, and this one went to Roberto Caballero. And congratulations, Roberto. And by the way, I should say this because I totally forgot. If you're getting a gifted membership this morning, please be sure to thank the person who is gifting it to you. That is something very generous they're doing for both you and for me, you know, for the channel itself. Gifting stuff to the community is very generous. So be sure to thank Big Ocho for this. And thank you, Big Ocho, for supporting the channel. We hit the few members that I was looking to gain. We gained, and this is the only stream I'm doing today. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Local Nomad, thanks for popping your 30-month member message. His 3 months in a row is a long time. Indeed it is. Almost, you know, 2.5 years there. Actually, it is 2.5 years, so thank you for that. Fan of Lowcraft, good to see you. He says, how are you? Sorry I'm late. Doing good. Enjoying the podcast. Chill vibes today. Nothing too crazy going on before we go to the React show over on the other channel, right? Derek says, for the tier maker he's making, he has S, A, B, C, and D. Should he add more columns? Never watched and really bad. I would say never watched is a good one. Because there may be things in there that other people have seen. I've never seen it. So never watched, yes. Really bad, no. Just do. In fact, you know what? We don't even need 5. I would say S, A, B, C, and then never watched. Like, I don't think we need 5 levels, do we? What do you guys think? How many levels should we have in the Christmas tier maker? 4 or 5? I'm thinking even 5 may be too much. Or, you know, but maybe 5 is correct. Do 5 levels. S, A, B, C, D, and then a never watched. Oh, let's do that. Okay, so let's go with that, Derek. S, A, B, C, D, never watched. That's what we'll do. Thank you. Okay. I received an $8.81 tip from an anonymous tipper. What's the most ridiculous thing ever happened to you when you returned an item? My short story is, it happened just now. I bought a monitor from Amazon. It was sold as new. The tamper tape was messed with. I didn't want to open it further to return it. I took it to UPS. The lady at the counter said, the pull tabs are not taped up. I told her I got the box like this from Amazon itself. I asked her if she could tape it. She told me she can sell me tape but not do it for free. She pissed me off. I took the monitor back. Here I'm tipping you the amount it would have cost me for tape. Taking this to a UPS by my house. I work retail and I have to work 6 days a week. I thought I'll return it to one near work, but the person working there was a douche. I think I have to wrap my head around this story because when you... Okay, hold on a second. Let me think about this. When you're returning something from Amazon, all right, you could take it to a local place and they're supposed to just accept it back and return it to Amazon, right? For me, okay, hold on one second. Let me get the leaderboard updated before I lose my train of thought. Okay, for me, that would be my local Kohl's store, Okay, there's actually a Kohl's near the mall area where I live, and they have a whole counter where you bring in returns for Amazon. And what you're supposed to do is bring it back in as much of the original packaging as you can, but it doesn't always have to be 100%. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And what they do is they will package it to return it. They don't charge you for that at all, whatsoever. They're not supposed to. The only situation where they should charge you would be like you bring back the monitor with nothing. No box, no packaging, absolutely nothing. There's no way to return it that way, right? You have to understand that a UPS store, a Kohl's store, anyone who has those agreements to return things to Amazon, they're getting paid for it. That's a service they're providing to Amazon. They get paid for that. That's not something free. They're receiving compensation for it. That's why they're doing that. So if you brought it to UPS store and they're like, we're going to charge you to return it, and you brought the packaging, that's bullshit. They can't do that. And they could get into major trouble if you were to report them and say, listen, I tried to return it to this location and they're charging people for returns. They could get kicked out of the program because they're not supposed to do that. They're already getting paid by fucking Jeff Bezos. So they're not supposed to be taking payment from the customer for tape. That's ridiculous. Like, for example, there's definitely been times when my wife and I have ordered something. Oh, I'll give you an example. Earlier this year, remember I ordered capture devices? Remember that? I ordered like 2 capture devices off of Amazon when my other one broke, and then someone sent me a replacement. It just so happens the replacement's great, and that's what I've been using all year. But I bought 2 other devices. Now, what I did is I just brought them back in the original packaging, but I didn't put them into the cardboard box that they had come from. I just brought the packaging with the shrink wrap on it, and I said, here you go. And they said, okay, we accept this. Now they are going to pack those things and send them, right? Fergie and Jesus says, UPS stores are third-party dealers. They can charge for tape. Happens all over with them. Nothing to do with contracts. Fergie and Jesus, again, I want to reiterate something. They're already getting paid by Amazon to return the item. They've already received payment. They have a contract with Amazon that they're getting paid for. If they're charging the customer for tape or otherwise, they are double charging. They're trying to make money on something they've already been paid for. That's fucked up and illegal. It's one thing if you're saying, well, they're not doing anything for free. No shit. They're already getting paid by Amazon. That's what the point I'm making. Why on earth would a UPS store or a Kohl's have a whole area set up for Amazon returns and do it for free? That would be insane. What kind of a business move is that? You see? They have no right to charge you for anything. Again, if you come back irresponsibly. Oh, all I have is this open box item, right? I bought this pair of sunglasses and I threw out the packaging. Here, I'm returning these sunglasses. Well, there's nothing to return it in. Now we have to do a box. Now we have to do tape. Now we have to do packaging, right? Then that makes sense that they're charging you for that. But if you're bringing back the original packaging, then they have no right to charge you for anything. And that manager of that store can get into major trouble. If you report them, they may lose their ability to be an Amazon return center, in which case they're out of money. So if you're being mistreated, you should always be sure that things are kosher. And if they're not, don't get taken advantage of. I'm glad you didn't spend the $8.81 for fucking tape. That's insane, right? That's wild bullshit. Absolutely not nonsensical bullshit right there. Like, what makes you think you could charge me $9 for fucking a piece of tape so that this can be mailed back? You're getting paid by Amazon to return the goddamn item. Now shut up and take it, or don't be a return center, right? Like everything, I'm sure there's 2 sides to the story. I mean, I'm going by what this person who tipped said. Maybe it's not fully true. I don't know. But if that's the full story, that's horseshit. Okay. Anyway. All right. So, let's continue on. Anything else you guys want to talk about today? Would you like to tag me in chat? Oh, I have a tip to shout out, but Joel Loft asked, are the MGS collections or Star Ocean Second Story are a possibility in December? No. Listen, we're already at December 3rd. I'm just about to start RoboCop and Avatar. 2 games that are going to be full-length, decent-length games, correct? I'm still going to be playing Street Fighter 6. I still got Like a Dragon Gaiden, right? In addition to that, we're starting up with Warzone 3, which no one knows if it's going to be good and I'm going to like it or not, right? We still got my React show every Sunday, and we still got holiday stuff coming up. There is no time for this other playthroughs right now. And normally, this would be the time of year where we'd be like, it's kind of slow, right? Or normally be like, okay, things are going to slow down come January. That's not the case this year. As you're going to see when we do the Christmas Marathon, we're actually going to do a schedule update. This year is insane. This year has a ton of releases coming out in a very short window. Very short window. So it's going to be like a wild amount of stuff to try to play back to back to back to back. There's really no filler time right now. It's like, people are, well, are you ever going to play that Sea of Stars? I wanted to ever since it came out. Has there been a single moment? No. It's been crazy, you know. Eventually I want to play it, but who knows when I'm going to get a chance. Star Ocean and a Metal Gear Solid Collection are not even a blip on my radar. Not even a slight little ping. It's not even anything I'm considering right now. The answer is no. Okay, let's continue. DCJ RSRT10. All right, you got to tell me what to call you because that name is too many letters and I have no idea how to pronounce that. Did a $2 super chat and says, I've been watching your React channel. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you're enjoying the content. I'm curious what you think. Do you have any feedback for us about that channel? Please tag me in the chat and let me know if you do. And please tell me what the heck to call you. Because there's no way I could call you 17 different letters. It's too confusing. Okay. I received a very generous okay, so 1 Minute Man has tipped $25 and he has some advice. All right, we're going to listen to his advice. I'm curious how you guys will respond. If you'll agree, disagree, let's see what he has to say. Hold on. First of all, thank you for the tip, 1 Minute Man. Let's get you on the leaderboard here. And that's going to get us up to $37 of tips. So we are well on our way to the Tier 1 tips goal. I will say this, though. Here's what happens when we do the React show, and this happens every single week. We have a great pre-stream, a great podcast. We go to the React show, no support during the show. Happens every week. So I'm hoping, you know, whatever we raise now during this podcast is pretty decent. Because remember, I'm not streaming tonight. So hopefully maybe we can hit the Tier 1 goal. It would be great if we could hit it by the end of this show. Because I guarantee you once we go over there, it, like, goes to nothing. It happens every week, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? I'm kind of used to it. It's not a big deal, but it would be great to, because I'm not doing a late stream this week, to do a little better, at least, before we hit that. All right, so, 1 Minute Man, here's his advice. Let's see if you guys agree or disagree. I'll give you my take in a second. So here's what he has to say. Ready? Phil, if you want viewer action and support, you must play games that viewers will like. Call of Duty will get repetitious fast if you're not a hardcore fan. Lords of the Fallen, for example, is a Soulsborne game that's up your alley. You're going to die a lot in Rage. What the hell? Who cares? Now, here's the thing. All right? I'll agree with that statement, for sure. All right? And I do feel like there's certain games that are kind of my forte for what people like to watch me play. Horror games, in particular, is a big one. Especially mainstream, big, more popular horror games. Not necessarily the indies, but more, you know, more mainstream ones, for sure. And to some extent, fighting games, I don't think long-term, but maybe even in the short term, learning a new fighting game, you know, getting better at it, raging, playing online at first, like that, has that appeal, right? Various different ones. I would say old school Bethesda games. When I'm playing like Fallout 3, Fallout 4, or one of these Elder Scrolls games, right? To some extent, too, those, right? In regards to Soulsborne, I agree with you that when I play a Soulsborne style game, yes, absolutely, that brings in the audience. Just look at Lies of P. That was a game that no one knew if it was going to be good. Everyone was on the fence about it, and we start playing it, we're like, oh my god, this game is like ridiculously good. They put so much effort, so much polish into this game. That was one of the more polished games I've played in years, and it was superb. It was like Bloodborne 2, which is what everyone always wanted, right? So that playthrough did absolutely great. I loved the game, right? But in the case of Lords of the Fallen, I hate to say it, basically it came out second, and that kind of screwed it over, because from everyone who's reporting about the game, it's nowhere near as good as Lies of P. It's flawed. The gameplay engine isn't as good as Lies of P. It's not as polished. It has bugs, has graphical issues, has crashes. A lot of people say it's kind of boring at parts or grindy. And it's just not as good. Not that it's a terrible game. No one is saying, oh, the Lords of the Fallen is an awful game or anything like that. No one's really said that. But it's kind of like Lords of the Fallen is okay, decent, but Lies of P was great. And because I played Lies of P first, that kind of killed any kind of momentum that Lords of the Fallen would have had. Because it came out a month earlier, right? When Lords of the Fallen came out, the only thing I heard launch week was, oh, it has graphical performance issues. And then within 2 weeks, no one has spoken about this game again. Lies of P had hype around it for 2-3 weeks. People were talking about it, excited for it, lore and everything. People were really hyped. Like, Lords of the Fallen died almost immediately. And the funny part is anyone talking about this game? Did anyone even mention it for any kind of a Game of the Year contender or anything? Nothing. So it's like, sadly, I hate to say it, I feel like Lords of the Fallen is more like in the same realm as Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Is it a Soulsborne style game? It is. Is it a good one? It's not terrible, but at the same time, it's just not good. And because of that, is it really worth investing a ton of time and effort into? Unlike Lies of P, I feel like a game like Lords of the Fallen, I get it. We'd play 2 streams, and after 2 streams, people see how inferior it is, they wouldn't care anymore, right? And like, oh, it's a bad knockoff, tons of issues, it's stupid, right? That's my take. Maybe I'm wrong. That's why I haven't played it, honestly, because it just doesn't seem like there were many people caring about that game after its initial couple of weeks. It just kind of, it flopped out, and that was it. So, but again, maybe I'm wrong, right? I don't know. Crackerjack says, you would not like Lords of the Fallen. I guarantee it. Would I do a Christmas Day stream if fans wanted it? No. I'm not streaming on Christmas. Christmas is my one day off. I ain't streaming on Christmas. Absolutely not. Sarah says, Lords of the Fallen is a really mid-Souls-like game. There are some incredible games you've skipped. It'd be really disappointed if you played Lords of the Fallen. There you go. What are some of my favorite Tim Curry movies? Definitely Clue is probably my favorite one, where he plays Wadsworth the butler, because he's comedic, he's serious, he's one of the driving forces of that whole movie. He kind of holds it together, you know? But he's been in a million movies that have all been good. I don't think I'd be hard-pressed to say, man, I saw a Tim Curry movie where his performance was bad or the movie was bad. You know what I mean? Like some people said Congo. He's actually good in Congo. It's kind of hammy, but he's actually still good in Congo. As opposed to, like, I can't think of a movie that was like a tanking, terrible movie, right? I know. Congo is a good movie, just the effects don't hold up. That's really the problem. The effects don't hold up at all. Like, the gorillas aren't believable because of the time frame, you know. Today it would be all CGI gorillas, and those aren't believable either. But back then they did suits, and the suits aren't very believable either. So it's kind of like, yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So last opportunity. But, you know, last final 10, 15 minutes here of the podcast. If you want to ask a question, tag me in the chat. By the way, thank you, Codeman, who had re-upped his membership for 28 months. I missed it. I'm sorry, Codeman. He says, any updates on reacting to Invincible? You know, I'm glad I didn't, because I had no idea that they were doing what they've done. They split the season. I hate that shit. Why start releasing episodes of a season of a show and then say we're taking a fucking break for the holidays and come back after the holidays? If you're going to do that, just don't release it till after the holidays. That's the dumbest thing ever. Because now everyone's got to be left hanging with blue balls, wanting to see what's going to happen next. That was incredibly stupid. All right? That's just a horrible decision. So, if I had started reacting to it, you know how pissed I would have been? But the truth is I just didn't get to it. Why? Because I got sick at the end of October. It set me back. By the time that I was trying to get set up to do it, I just didn't get to it. This month, I'm going to do all Christmas stuff. Okay? Maybe next year, I'll look into it. It seems like next year is going to be a good year for, like, TV shows to react to. You know, you're going to have the Fallout show, We're going to have The Boys Season 4, which I already told you guys I would react to that if you wanted me to, because it seems like everyone loves The Boys. So I'd react to that. And anything else that sounds good. So maybe what I should do is just hold off, and then what I should do is react to Invincible Season 2, but start watching it in like January when it comes back. So that way maybe I could do like, each time I do an episode of reacting, I react to like 2 episodes at a time. So it'd be like 4 parts or something like that, right? We'll see. But I just never got to it, you know? Weary Mark did a super chat and says, any chance of playing Baldur's Gate 3? Well, I've already explained to you guys that we're going to have a Christmas event coming up. And every single year when this Christmas event comes up, people nominate lengthy RPGs for some odd reason. And usually it's Bethesda games. And then usually people pick one of those games that perhaps you'd like to see me play the next year. It just so happens, though, that this year there's no chance that could happen early. Because we have multiple high-profile, new release, lengthy RPGs all coming out right at the beginning of the year. So unlike usual, when it's like, oh, I want to see Phil play Fallout New Vegas this year. Oh, I want to see Phil play Skyrim this year. I want to see Phil play Oblivion this year. We don't have downtime to do that this year. There's going to be too much going on. So maybe that'll be something we pick up later on in the year. Maybe in the early spring or into the summertime when we have downtime, we could do a playthrough like that. We'll have to see. But right now, no promises on ever having a chance to do that. Big Mac, watch Friday's podcast for your answers. There you go. Do I prefer CGI or practical effects? I tend to prefer practical effects. The 1980s, era and early 90s era of horror and that kind of stuff, creature feature stuff, is so good. Like, for example, watch the movie Aliens, okay? And tell me if that movie's scary as opposed to, like, a CGI movie with some fucking thing coming after you. And I'll tell you, Aliens is way more scary to me. It's all practical effects. It's lighting. It's real-life stuff that would look like that in real life. It's not virtual nonsense. I think that the CGI just, it kind of doesn't look that good. That's just my take, though. Maybe I just haven't seen enough of it that's good, but, No, I'm not reacting to The Boys Season 4 trailer. I haven't even seen it. Maybe I would eventually, but I haven't seen it. I don't think anyone nominated it for this week's show either, for today. So I haven't reacted to it, no. Ugh. All right. Anything else, guys? Lady Carissa says there's an old saying, you notice bad CGI but don't notice good CGI. That's the art of it. I mean, that's the point. Exactly right. Well, again, practical effects are real in real life. They're there. So that's what they look like if it was in real life. Now, they could look cheesy and not as good as they should, but they're still really there. An actor can interact with it because it's right in front of him or her, right? You can actually see where it is. You can act better around it. It's just more practical. That's the whole point of calling it a practical effect, right? The CGI is not there, and the whole point is to make it act like it is there, What's the most expensive gift I ever received? I have no idea. And you want to know why? Because when I get gifts, I don't ask for the value of the gift, right? Like when I was a kid, I'm sure my parents probably bought me toys, video game systems, things like that. I don't know what they paid for them. When I was a kid, do you think I even understood the concept of that? Do I know dollars back then versus dollars today? I don't know. I have no idea, right? You might say, well, what about contributions on stream? I think the biggest contribution I ever got on a stream was $2,000. Was it not? I think it was a few years ago that I received like a $2,000 tip on a stream, which was insane, right? But it helped because here's the thing. Remember, those are the times when I was going through the bankruptcy and everything, and things were falling apart for me. And so that level of support that I got at that time was very much appreciated and needed. It got me through one of the toughest times in my life financially, you know. These days that stuff doesn't happen anymore. But that's okay, because I'm not in that rut that I was in, so, you know. But I'm pretty sure it was like a ginormous $2,000 tip I got from someone one point. And then you remember, at one point I was gifted, no exaggeration, something like 800 plus subs. Wasn't that on Twitch? That was on Twitch, correct? So that was many years ago. But I swear there was 1 month and remember I got the tier 3 subs too, so they were worth way more, right? So it was like an insane amount of subs, and they were all tier 3 subs. So it was just a wild amount of support that came in. And again, it came in at the right time when I really needed that support to keep things afloat. So I would say that's probably it. You know what I mean? Like, I would say that's likely it. I can't think of anything bigger than that, getting thousands of dollars on a tip or gifted memberships or something like that, right? So there you go. Mr. Game Master did a super chat. Have you played Xenoblade Chronicles? No. Right? Or did I? I played a Xenoblade game. Right? But which one was it? I don't know. It was the one that was on Switch, Wii. The original Wii. I never finished it, though. Everyone got bored of it, including me. Like, literally, that was before I was a streamer, and the game was insanely long and grindy. And the dialogue, man, the dialogue. Oh, the dialogue. That was the problem. The game was so long-winded. You'd play it for like 2 hours, and then there'd be like a 40-minute cutscene. And like, dude, I can't take this anymore. Right? Like, I totally just can't take this anymore. I can't. It's too slow, too long-winded. Like, you could abridge what they were saying by like less than half. It could say the same thing. I just couldn't take it anymore. It was driving me nuts. So I decided just not to keep going on with it. And the funny part is, every once in a while, I get someone who asks, "Hey, you want to go back? Will you ever go back to it?" There's not really that much desire to see me play those games. You know what I actually heard? So I've talked about this game for a million years. Lost Odyssey. I actually heard, get this, that basically the game runs flawlessly on the Xbox Series X. That basically, because it's 2 generations of hardware later, the game runs at a high frame rate, has no crashes, no loading time problems, that the game is flawless, and it's what it should have been back in the day on the Xbox 360, and that a lot of people who played it are blown away, and they're like, why does no one talk about this game? And they're like, well, because it was by Mistwalker, that doesn't exist anymore, because it ran poorly on the Xbox 360, so a lot of people had issue with it, but now it's actually like a great game, so you play it today and you're blown away. That's what I think I would like to play, honestly. Lost Odyssey, we got to get to someday. Let's see here. I received a $2 tip. How would you feel about reacting to British shitcoms? I didn't mean to say that. I'm not slamming British comedy, even though it is kind of dry, and a lot of the times I don't find it very funny. How do you feel about reacting to British sitcoms that are popular in America? I don't know, because I never have. The only British sitcom that I've ever watched was the British version of The Office, which I thought was just okay. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I thought there were times that were really funny and other times that were way over the top, trying too hard, cringy. So it's kind of a mix for me. But I've never seen another British shitcom. So because of that, I couldn't tell you if they're good or not. How would I feel about reacting to them? I don't know. Could I even? Because if it's a real sitcom, then likely it would all get claimed, right? It would be blocked and claimed, and I wouldn't be able to watch it, right? How did I ever watch classic 1940s Christmas movies? They were on TV nonstop when I was a kid. Like, every holiday season. They'd be on, like, the whole week of Christmas, you'd see It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street. They'd be on all these channels constantly. So you see them that way. You wouldn't have to, like, rent them or nothing. They would just be on TV naturally. All right, last chance, guys, because I got to get out of here and set up for the React show. So it's the last chance if you want to ask me a question. Last chance for a contribution. Remember, once we swap over, that stream is the only stream I'm doing today. So it would be great if you could support that stream because that keeps the React content going. All right. But tomorrow we're back to full-time gameplay streaming here on the channel. Okay. No, I'm not doing a live reaction to the GTA 6 trailer because I'll be asleep. But I will talk about it. And if people actually wanted to see me do a live react to it, that would be something for the React show. That would make sense, right? No, I'm not going back to MK1. I don't give two shits about the game. It sucks. I'm not wasting time on it. I'm not playing any DLC characters. The game is atrociously bad compared to Street Fighter 6. So I'm not ever thinking about it ever again. There you go. Sam Raimi directing the new Avengers movies, yay or nay? I don't know. I definitely like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I think the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are great. But 3, even him directing, he didn't have full creative control, and the movie kind of sucked because of it. Like, there's great parts of 3, and there's terrible parts of 3, right? So, I don't know what would happen if he were to be put in charge of Avengers, but I don't think they would, right? I just don't think so. Yes, I've seen Mr. Bean. I used to watch it back in the day. It's great. Mr. Bean is great. Lisa Lou has just tipped me $50 and says, happy holidays. Thank you to Lisa Lou for a very generous $50 tip. I appreciate that very, very much. That is the biggest tip of today, of course. And that means we are a mere $11 away from a hat. And I would say today, I'd probably wear the Santa hat. Makes sense because just as you guys are going to see, a lot of the stuff submitted for today's React show is holiday theme, like Christmas holiday theme. So it would make sense to have the Santa hat today. So thank you very much, Lisa Lou. And that means we will have, Gunner glasses, and perhaps we'll hit a holiday hat goal over on the React show. All right. I think it is time to adjourn because I do have to switch over. It takes a few minutes because we got to adjourn this show. It takes a few minutes to switch over, get all the other things running on the other channel, and then I usually take a break to use the restroom. So let's do it, guys. Thank you all. Great show today. More chill show for sure. I knew it would be. We didn't have anything ultra serious to talk about besides the schedule change. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me. Tomorrow we're back on track for normality when it comes to full-time gaming, which I'm excited for. And I thank you all. Happy holidays, everyone. Hopefully you'll check out my React content today on DSP Reacts. But if not, it's all good. And I'll see you in the morning tomorrow for another fun podcast. Peace out.